Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to another Adobe Photoshop tutorial. My name is TJ Style, and in today's video I'm going to show you how can you use the iris blur effect that was added to Adobe Photoshop CS6. And once again, this is a tutorial limited to Photoshop CS6 users. So just in case if you have CS5 or 5.5, this effect or this tutorial is not really meant for you guys. So I'm sorry, but yes, only for CS6 users. Okay. Alright, so the way this blur works is, and actually it's very simple. Now I just like to create a duplicate of the image that I'm working with. So Control J, then you go to filter and we just go to blur. And I discussed the field blur in my previous tutorial, and I'm going to talk about the iris blur. And this also works, very similar to the field blur, but the difference is you just, if you want to move the blur, you can just click on the center point and you can just move it properly. Okay, like you can move it to anywhere you want. Then and these endpoints, there are going to be these 4 points over here. You can just click on any one of them and you can rotate your circle, or this orbit kind of thing, and you can increase the size. You can increase it horizontally, or you can increase it vertically, or any way you want to. Then and the actual effect starts from the center point. Even though you may not see any kind of blur happening in the center, but these 4 points actually, which are inside this orbit, they serve as a transition meter from the inside of the of the orbit. So they serve as a transition meter from the center point to the outside. So you can see if I bring these 4 points closer to each other, the blur also kind of gets a little inside the orbit. Now if you want the total inside of the orbit to be blur free and absolutely clear, you can just click on any one of those and you can just drag them at the very end, and you can see the difference. Now if you want to move a point individually, just hold on the Alt key and then click, and then you can see that it moves individually, and it does not affect all the 3 other points that are there. So yeah, this is mainly how the full effect works, and it's a very good blur effect, I think, because because you can do a lot of things with this. And yeah, you can have multiple iris blur in in one single composition or in one single image. If you want to create another point, you can just go outside the first point, and you can see the your mouse pointer change to this pin kind of an icon, which has this plus small icon beside it. And if you click anywhere else, you'll see that you created yet another point. So if you want to create some very different kind of effects, you can just work with them. And if you want to delete any one of them, you can just select, by clicking on it, you can just select it and hit the delete key and it will go away. Okay. On the right hand side, once again, you have the blur tool. You can increase the intensity of the blur, but I think that the defaults are actually pretty good. But once again, if you are working on a project in which you really need to pressure up the blur, then you can go over here and increase the blur. To accept the changes, click OK, and you'll see give Photoshop a little bit of time, and you'll see you can you have made a good effect just like that. Now of course this effect looks absolutely terrible, but you get the idea. Once again, we'll just take a look at the full effect on another image. You're going to press Control 1 to zoom it at 100%, and actually these are very high res images. I'm kind of compressing, actually downsampling them. Just gonna Control J it. I'm going to filter, blur, and iris blur. And once again, we want this horse to be at the center, or the center of attention. So we'll just take it over here, and actually both the horses see somewhere like this. And once again, these are not any actual projects of mine, just some random stock images that I've taken, just trying to show you how the effect works. And I think this is actually pretty good. You just click OK now and give Photoshop a little bit of time. Once again, it'll be there. You can just take the text tool and you can just write down something, maybe horsepower, just trying to create some text. Position the text properly, maybe add a question mark, and you have created just like that a very good text effect, a full photo edit. Now these kind of text these kind of blur effects are really used to get something in focus. So say you have a lot of things going on in the background, and you want your audience to view at a particular thing in an image, so you can use these kind of blur effects to keep your background still visible. As you can see, I can still see the body, I can still see the tail, I can see all the dust coming, but whenever I get to see this image, say if it was hanging on a wall, my first attention would be the two horses, and how they are running, especially the eye. And then I would just my second attention would be the text, or how what does the text say. It says horsepower, or something like that. So these kind of blur effects are really used in those kind of situations. So thank you for watching my video. I'll see you all in my next video. Hope you understood how to use the iris blur effect in Photoshop CS6. Please like my video on YouTube, and I'll see you all in my next video. Please subscribe to this channel, and thank you.